Welcome to the Get Published podcast, sponsored by Brodie Consulting Group. To get more information about our coaching, publishing, executive ghostwriting, and podcast production services, go to getpublishedpodcast.com. Hello, I am Paul Brodie, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Get Published podcast, where we help authors get published with a proven system that works. And today, we're being joined by Joe Johnson, author of Startup Smarter, a step-by-step, no BS blueprint, launch more profitable products and services using the power of pre-sales. Joe, welcome to the show.
Hey, nice to be here.
Well, Joe, we're thrilled to have you. Are you ready to begin?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right. Question number one. What is the one piece of advice that you would give to a first-time author who is currently writing their book?
That's a really good question. What I would say, having done it before, is think about your book and your project at the nexus between having service and then also, this idea of duty. So you want to come at it from a point of your duty is your muse telling you to write the book, but then your service is making sure that your customers, the person who's going to read your book, is going to want to share it, want to love it, and then really want to sing your praises. So right in that intersection, so that way your book can be most successful.
And what do you feel is the hardest part about getting published?
Oh man, just finishing. I know there's a lot of people out there that have unfinished manuscripts. If you stick to the work, make a time on your calendar to actually put in the work, you can get it done.
Well, let's talk about marketing. So please share a marketing strategy that you have used in your book launch that has worked well.
What's really worked well for me are book launch teams. Absolutely. I couldn't have launched my book without them. And having that group of people that can help you read your book, give you feedback, and then also be your first couple of reviews and supporters was amazing.
So what strategies were you utilizing to build your team?
A lot of personal outreach, just getting into my email list. Like you could go to your Gmail and go to your contacts on the left-hand side. You'd be amazed how many people are in there. And that you just lost contact with. Just say, hey, you know what? Hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. I love to connect with you. What are you working on? Pause, let them respond back to you, and then say, hey, I'm also working on this book. Would you love to join my launch team? And that was an amazing strategy that got me a lot of reviews early on.
Excellent. So how many reviews were you able to get?
I believe it was the very first round, it was 10 reviews right off the top. But then because of the Amazon algorithm, I got a couple removed. But those keep coming in just week after week.
Well, speaking of books, I'd like to know what is your favorite book and what was the number one thing that you learned from it?
My number one book is Get Published by a guy named Paul Brodie. You might have heard of him. That is a good book, and I do recommend it. Another book I recommend is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Just an amazing book. And the reason why I love this book is because it talks about your personal journey. And if you feel compelled to write your book and you just can't shake it, if it's your personal journey, embrace it. Be willing to do the work. And that book aligns me in the right way to be a successful business owner.
And for a final question, what is your favorite quote and why?
If you want something you've never had, you need to do something you've never done. The reason why I love that quote is coming back to, why do you want to be published? If you want to be published, you truly want that, you have to do something you haven't done, which is sit down, do the work, and then all the rewards will follow.
Well, Joe, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show. What is the best way for people to find you online?
Absolutely. And thank you for having me. You can reach me at startupsmarter.net. You can reach me on Facebook, facebook.com/startupnow. And lastly, summit.startupsmarter.net.
Well, Joe, thank you once again for being on the show, and I wish you all the best in your author journey ahead.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thanks again for joining us today. To learn more about how to get your book published with a proven system that works, grab a free copy of my book at getpublishedpodcast.com.